Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome to another What I Eat in a Day video. If you're new here, I follow the Weight Watchers program. I get 23 points a day and 28 weeklies, but I also share calories on my channel as well. If you're new to my channel, please make sure to read the disclaimer down in the description box about What I Eat in a Day videos and how you shouldn't really copy what people eat and how we're all different. So one thing to keep in mind, I'm 51 years old. I am only 4'11" and 3/4", so my needs may be completely different than yours. So just make sure to read that disclaimer and work with your own doctor or your own dietitian to find what works for you. So I'm starting off my morning with a yogurt. I'm getting ready to go for a walk, and I don't like to have coffee before I go for a walk. So I'm gonna have some yogurt and then I'll have my coffee when I get back after my walk. So this is Light and Fit Greek strawberry banana yogurt. This kind's really good. Usually I get the strawberry cheesecake, but I do like this kind. And this is 80 calories and 2 points for each container. To that I'm gonna add, this is Kellogg's All Brand Buds. So I'm gonna add 13 grams. You have 13 grams for 1 point, and I can't even remember the calories. I think like around 40 calories. This gives it a little bit more fiber. And then I'm also going to add some blackberries as well. So that's going to be my, it's not really breakfast, it's kind of like my morning snack. Then I'll come home, drink some coffee, and then usually I'll do my big breakfast in a couple hours maybe. So my big breakfast is kind of like, I guess you could call it kind of like a brunch. So sometimes I end up eating lunch after I have that and sometimes I don't. So we'll see what I end up having today. So this morning snack is 3 points and about 125 calories. So something that usually happens when I go for walks in the morning is I end up drinking a lot of water, and when I get back I'm just kind of hot and sweaty and really don't feel like having hot coffee. We live in Florida, so going for a walk outside can sometimes be warm. So I am just gonna have this Premier Protein cafe latte. I'll just use this for my coffee. This is equivalent to 1 cup of coffee, the caffeine amount in it. So this is 2 points for the container and 160 calories. So I'm gonna drink this, start some work, and then I'll come back and show you what I end up making for breakfast. For breakfast today, I'm craving an omelet, so I've just cut up a little bit of spinach here. I have 3 slices of Canadian bacon, which I have had so many comments from people in Canada saying, why do they call it Canadian bacon? That's not what we call Canadian bacon. So in Canada, this is referred to as back bacon, which is more of the lean bacon. In America, we have the bacon, the fatty bacon from the pork belly, and this is actually the leaner from the back. So my understanding is that this back bacon, or Canadian bacon, it originated in Canada and then came to the States, and that's why we started calling it Canadian bacon. That's just what I've read. I don't know how true that is. So for those of you who are in Canada, this is basically back bacon. I also have some roasted red peppers. I love using roasted red peppers on so many things. They're just so quick and easy. I love red peppers, but I can't usually eat them raw. So this way, it's just a nice way for me to add them without having to cook them first. So I'm gonna put that in with the omelet. I have some fresh parsley here. I'm gonna cut up and just put on it after. I am going to have some carrots that I had cut up for meal prep. I'm gonna have those with my breakfast, or some of them. I may not eat all of them. And I also have a half a banana here that I may eat as well. So over here, I'm also cooking 2/3 of a cup of hash browns. For these, you're gonna have 2/3 of a cup for 2 points or 90 calories. And I'm not using oil in that. I'm just using this avocado oil spray for those, and also that's what I'll use for my eggs. And I usually add a little bit of water to my eggs. To me, it just makes them a little fluffier, but use whatever you normally use. some mushrooms that I want to use up, so I'm going to add those to it. Sometimes it can be tricky to make a omelet with this much on it. My thing is, I don't like the omelet to be too browned on the bottom, so it's kind of hard for it to come out right for me. Especially since I'm not using butter and oil, I'm just using spray. It can sometimes be tricky. I'm also going to add about a 1/4 cup of cottage cheese to the hash browns. Yeah, I'm just going to have a few carrots. All right, so here is my entire breakfast. This is a lot of food, but honestly, I just find that when I feel my body in the morning lately, it just seems like I do much better because I'm just not as hungry throughout the day. It really sets my day, it holds me over, and I think for my metabolism, it's better for me. But again, I always tell you, y'all know what I say, you do you. And I almost forgot about the fresh parsley that I had cut up. There we go. Something you could also do if you wanted to, just for some added flavor, you could add some salsa to the eggs. You could add some hot sauce. I'm not going to do that today. So this whole entire thing is only 3 points. It's 1 point for the Canadian bacon. Everything else in the eggs is 0. The hash browns are 2 points. I'm counting the cottage cheese as 0. This is actually 1% cottage cheese, but I'm just using about a 1/4 cup, and it's so close in nutrition facts to the non-fat cottage cheese that just for me personally, I'm just counting it as 0. And then the carrots are 0 and the banana is 0. So this entire breakfast is only 3 points, but look at all that nutrition. So once I figure out the calories for it, I'll pop it up on the screen. Y'all know how organized I like to be in my fridge, right? Let me show you my produce drawer right now. It is full of tomatoes and cucumbers. My mother they had a little stand on the side of the road, and she picked up, they had this huge box. Some of them have blemishes, you can see there you go. You can see on that one. But it was a huge box for $5. There's so much in here, and I've already taken probably half of the box to work. So some of them have blemishes, and some of them are just very oddly shaped. So I think that's why the box was so cheap. So I am going to make a tomato and cucumber salad. So I've got cucumber, I've got tomato, and then I also have avocado in there. I had some frozen avocado chunks. I used 30 grams of avocado chunks. You can have 30 grams for 1 point. And now I'm going to put in 5 green olives. I'm just using the Great Value kind. And I've got some feta cheese here. I'm going to add an ounce of feta. And I will tell you, I made this to bring to work one day. And I was kind of worried that it would be soggy by the time I ended up eating it. But my intention was to have it with olive oil. And by the time it set, it kind of like got the juices from the cucumber and the tomato, and I didn't even need the olive oil. So I figured since I had green olives in there anyways, I was still getting some healthy fats from those. So I didn't even worry about the olive oil. But if you want to add some, you definitely can. And oh, I'm all out of red onion. I was going to say if I had a red onion, I would add some of those. But something else you can do with this is add some black beans, cilantro. There's so many things you can do with this. It's so, so good. So here's the thing with me. The flavors of this, honestly, are so good. You don't need dressing. You don't need anything. Just all this all by itself. The flavor from the olives and the feta just kind of gives it what it needs. It's really good. So this salad is 3 points and about 195 calories. So this is probably all I'm going to be having until dinner because that breakfast was so filling. So I'm probably not going to want anything else. And The dinner that I'm making, I'm actually making a slow cooker dinner. I actually didn't film it this time because I wasn't sure how it's going to turn out. We'll see. But the dinner doesn't really have a lot of vegetables, so I'll be counting kind of this as my veggie for dinner. Oh my gosh. So I actually started eating this and forgot about filming it. I already ate some of the chicken. This is so good. I wish that I would have filmed it and showed you how easy this is to put together. But I can guarantee you I will be filming this for, I'm thinking like a meal prep. This would be great for a meal prep. So this is slow cooker Mediterranean chicken. And for this, it's a recipe from slenderkitchen.com. I think I've made a couple of her recipes before. That website sounds familiar. But it's slow cooker Mediterranean chicken. So these are the ingredients in it. So the majority of this is 0 points. So from my calculations, this came out to 4 Weight Watcher points. As I always say, make sure to double check everything yourself. It could vary depending on different brands that you use. The calories on it are 264 calories. It's 30 grams of protein. So if you wanted to make this even lower points, you could use chicken breast instead of chicken thighs. I've combined it with some whole wheat pasta because I have the points today. So my entire dinner is going to be 9 points. It's 4 points for the Mediterranean chicken and then 5 points for the pasta. I have a 2-ounce portion here. So it's 5 points for that, or 212 calories. So the total dinner is 9 points, 476 calories, and 37 grams of protein. So like I said, if you wanted to back off on some of the calories or the points, you definitely could make some adjustments. So definitely gonna maybe try and do this for a meal prep sometime. I'm thinking maybe even just doing it over like some roasted vegetables or something, but the roasted red peppers and the green olives in it really make the flavor. And this is so good that the juice that it makes just from the olives and the roasted red peppers and the chicken broth that's in it creates enough flavor for the noodles. So like I don't even have to add any sauce or anything for the noodles. I just put it over the noodles and it was so good. I'm definitely going to be making again. I'll link the recipe down below. So easy to make. So I am not overly hungry tonight, but I really was craving an apple. So I'm going to have an apple. And with the apple, I'm going to have this Fix and Fog almond everything butter. This is really good. I got this from Thrive Market. And I'm really not usually a fan of almond butter, but this is really good. It has almond butter, sunflower, chia, sesame, pepita, hemp, and flaxseed. And for a serving for 2 tablespoons is 180 calories or 5 points. But I'm just gonna have 1 tablespoon with my apple. So for the 1 tablespoon, it's only gonna be 2 points and 90 calories. So the apple for me is 0 and then 2 points for the almond butter. So this is a 2-point snack and I'm counting the apple as about 70 calories. So it ends up being 160 calories and 2 points. So my totals for the day, perfect example of a 23-point day, 23 out of 23 points. I had 1,485 calories and about 110 grams of protein. And like I've mentioned before, I don't show my water usually because I just drink water all day long. So I always just count that I had 10 glasses of water because it's usually give or take for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you in my next one.